this is Mrs. Bingley, and I am going to tell you my immigration story. So, I'm going to tell you about two different people. I kind of chickened out here. I didn't do a video. Instead, I did this computer thing. So, you can do it this way if you really want to, or you can do a video. But here is my example of my immigration project. So, as we've talked about in class, we are all immigrants. So, I'm going to tell you about two different people. The first one is a man named Albert Huber. He was my great-great-grandpa. So here's me, my mom, my grandpa, who's still alive, my great-grandpa, his dad, and my great-great-grandpa, Albert Huber. Okay? So, Albert Huber came from the country of Switzerland. Switzerland is right here in the middle. He was from a town near Zurich, Switzerland. He spoke German, and you can see that this part of Switzerland is right next to Germany. Switzerland's between France and Germany. And he came on a boat from Switzerland, and he came through Ellis Island in New York City. And he was born in 1874, and and he came to the U.S. in, we're not quite sure, but we think around 1896 or so. He was about 20 years old, and he actually joined the United States military when he came here and fought in the Spanish-American War, which was fought in Cuba. So why did he come to the United States? Well, that's a good question. He came all this way because he thought the United States was a land of opportunity. He had a large family in Switzerland, lots of brothers and sisters. He came with one younger brother to the United States, and they were just hoping to find work. Eventually, he made his way to Ohio, and he married a woman in Ohio named Mary Dwyer. And then somehow he found out that Utah was a good place for mining. And he came to Utah and he started prospecting mining, which means he would look for new mining things, and that's how he made his living. And he was a little teeny old man. He spoke German and smoked a pipe, and he came to the United States because he was looking for opportunities for work. And he stayed here for the rest of his life. So that's my first story. My second story, I actually have some pictures. My second story is about a man named John Rowe Moyle. He was my great-great-great-great-grandpa, 4 greats. So if you can see here, here's me, my dad, my grandma, my great-grandma, my great-great-grandpa, my great-great-great-grandpa, and my great-great-great-great-grandpa, John Rowe Moyle. Okay? Here is a picture of John Rowe Moyle and his wife, whose name was Philippa. And John Rowe Moyle was from England. So he sailed. He was born in England in 1808, and he came to Utah in the 1840s. And he first sailed to the United States. I'm not sure where he came in, probably New York, but not through Ellis Island. It was before Ellis Island started. And he made his way to St. Louis, Missouri, and then from St. Louis, he came across the plains and ended up in Salt Lake City. Now, his story is a story about religion. He, while he was living in England, met some Mormon missionaries, and he joined the Mormon church in England. And at that time, a lot of Mormons thought that they needed to come to Utah. Nowadays, people all over the world join the Mormon church and they stay where they're living. They don't come to Utah. But at that point, everybody wanted to come to Utah. So he wanted to come to Utah because that's where he thought the Mormons, or that's where the Mormons were. When he got to Utah, he settled in a town called Alpine. Let me find that picture. He settled in a town called Alpine. Alpine is over the mountain. So here's Salt Lake City. Murray is around right here. And if you follow I-15 like you're headed to Provo, Alpine is this little community down here in Utah County. His story is that he was a stone mason and he carved stone, and he would walk once a week from his house in Alpine to Salt Lake City, where he had a job working on the Mormon temple in Salt Lake City. You've probably seen this building before. And he actually carved the words "Holiness to the Lord" that are actually still on the temple. Right here you can see it. The cool story about John Romoyle is he would walk this trek to Salt Lake City every week and then walk back home and work on his farm. But he got kicked in the leg by a cow and he had to amputate or cut off his leg. So once he got better, he carved himself a wooden leg, like a pirate, and he walked on a wooden leg and continued his work to work on the Mormon temple. So here's just a story of two ancestors. One of my ancestors came looking for work, had nothing to do with the Mormon church, and looked for opportunity, became a soldier. He was so happy to be in the United States, he joined the United States Army and became a soldier. And another one who came looking for religion, a place where he could religious freely how he wanted, worship freely how he wanted to with his religion. So there is my immigrant story. The end.